So when I was putting this long-range ultralight hunting rifle together, I was very excited. So Thomas from German Gunstock sent me a picture of a prototype of his skeletonized stock, the Ranger, and it was just beautiful. Any of you guys who have had a German Gunstock or watched our videos of the previous German Gunstock reviews I've done, I just love the quality. I love the attention to detail that Thomas puts into these, and can't recommend them enough. They have an internal 7075 chassis, so everything is bed perfectly. And this stock is incredibly ergonomic. You have the adjustable cheek piece. It's incredibly light, and coupled with the carbon fiber barrel, the center of gravity on it was just incredibly comfortable to shoot. Offhand, I ended up shooting in a really funky position because that was the only thing I could do to get a shot off on the bull that I took. But it just performs incredibly well, and it looks badass. I mean, there's just something about it. I mean, the rifle's always going to shoot better when it looks badass. The inlet was perfect. The action sits in there nice and snug, and our OEM bottom metal is what we're running in here. I'll end up swapping that out for our long action bottom metal. I'm going to make a change to our long action AICS bottom metal that I'll explain when we talk about the 260 I took. But all in all, it was a rock steady platform. Now, something happened where I was almost unable to use this stock, and it was a kind of a silly little defect, but I was able to work through it. Up front here, I needed to put a Picatinny rail in order to attach my Atlas bipod to this stock. I wanted to run the Atlas because it's more stable than a Harris, it's quieter than a Harris, and I just haven't used it in the field. I've used it in competition, but I wanted to see how it would run in the field, and it's an incredibly light bipod, and so it just fit this really well. Now, I attached my Picatinny rail, it's one of the Blackhawk ones, attaches to the swivel stud, and under recoil, when I was zeroing the rifle, just making sure it was still zeroed before I left on the trip, it's actually the morning I was leaving on my trip, the swivel stud actually got pulled out of the stock, and I had no swivel stud up in the front to hold a bipod or the sling. I ended up trying to put this rifle into a Macmillan Game Scout I have, and it didn't fit because of the Timney trigger. For whatever reason, the Timney trigger does not work with the Macmillan inlet. So I ended up putting Gorilla Glue inside this hole and screwing the swivel stud back in with the Gorilla Glue, and the Gorilla Glue worked really well because it expands 3 times into the material, whatever you put it in. And I'll show you a quick picture of what it looked like after it cured, because it ended up bubbling out and around the swivel stud. But I locked everything back down once it had cured, and it worked perfectly. It's been rock solid. It's stronger than it was before I did that Gorilla Glue. So I think the solution down the road is that Thomas could run a captured swivel stud, which means you drill a hole, you put it through one end, and you have a washer, and you run your a retention nut on the other side or under the barrel channel, so it's actually captured. You're not trying to use a wood screw to hold itself in place in the material. But once I worked through that, we were back in action. I actually took a backup rifle because I wasn't sure if that solution was going to work, and it did. Very happy. And other than that one minor complaint, this stock has held up very well, especially being this light and shooting something as heavy as the 28 Nosler. It would definitely, any sort of weakness in the stock would show itself under that kind of recoil. And if that was the worst of it, I'm happy and I'm completely confident to run this stock on any hunt in the future.